In this question, we are required to find the rule of an arithmetic sequence. Given that the third term of this arithmetic sequence is -1 and the fifth term is 11. So we're going to use our rule for finding the term in an arithmetic sequence. There will be some unknowns, but through those unknowns we can then go ahead and find the rule. So if we notice the information that's been given to us, it says the third term of an arithmetic sequence is -1. Automatically from this, we know that n is equal to 3. So the third term is what we've been given. If we go ahead and use our rule, a is unknown, which is the first term. So we write that down. And our n value here is 3, so it would be 3 minus 1. And our d is also unknown. We are all told that this third term is equal to -1. So after some simplification, we have a plus 2d equals -1. We're going to call this equation 1. The next part of the question says that the fifth term is 11. So if we go ahead and do the same thing, the fifth term here, a value also again is unknown, n is equal to 5, and d is also unknown. We're told here that this is all equal to 11. So for this equation we have a plus 4d equals 11, and we'll call that equation 2. Okay, from this point we can see that we have two variables that we need to find, and we can use simultaneous equations to find these two variables. So we're going to take equation 2 and minus it by equation 1. So in doing that, you'll notice that our a values will knock out if we do equation 2 minus equation 1, and it would be 4d minus 2d and 11 minus -1. So if we go ahead and write that down, the a's would cancel each other out. Then we would have 4d minus 2d. This gives us a value of 2d, and that is equal to 11 minus -1. This is a value of 12. Dividing both sides by 2 gives us a value of d, which is 6. Now that we have one unknown value, we can go ahead and substitute it into one of our two main equations in order to find our other unknown. I'm going to substitute this into equation 1. So in doing that, we have a plus 2 times 6 is equal to -1. A plus 12 is equal to -1. So our a value here is -13. So with all of this information, we can now put that into our main rule for finding the term of an arithmetic sequence, and that will then give us a rule for this arithmetic sequence. If we go ahead and do that, we have a d value. We also have an a value, and we also have no, that's all we need. So if we go ahead and do that, it would be Tn equals a plus n minus 1d. So write down the rule for the arithmetic sequence. Our a value is -13. Then n minus 1, and our d value here is 6. So after some expanding and bringing of like terms together, we have our final rule is negative 19 plus 6n, and this is now the rule for the arithmetic sequence, and this helps us to find any term in this sequence. If we go to question B, find the 50th term in the sequence. So it's no coincidence that it's actually asked us a question that's based on the previous one. So here our n value is 50, and all we do is substitute that into the rule that we have just figured out in the previous part, which is T50, and that's negative 19 plus 6 times 50 gives us a result of negative 19 plus 300, and that gives us a final solution of 281. So then we can say the 50th term is 281.